It's Christmas time here again. With that, a new update for Dead Cells. Now, it is an update from maybe a while ago, and I kind of got distracted by playing Noita for a very long time. But hey, it's here now, and I decided to start out with one of the more interesting bits of this update, specifically the fact that you can play any OG version of this game that has ever existed. So here's the very original one. Way back in the day. It's rough and bad. Oh, here, just change it to slot 1, whatever. Slot 1 is entirely... does not matter at all. I mean, it's just nothing. Besides, either way, I have my stuff backed up. Oh man, it's been a while now, hasn't it? The game really hasn't been, it hasn't changed too much in the past. I mean, obviously the UI got a pretty big overhaul, but aside from that, it's like you still got the giant here, you still got attacks. It's just slightly different. Hey, remember this guy? Yeah, this is 1.0. This is the OG version, the one that I started playing way back in the day. Let's get a little bit of Ghost of Christmas Past, Present, and Future going on. Why not? Future, because again, I probably should have been playing this update a little bit more than I actually did. But I still want to try this out. Like I said, it's called the Legacy Update, so you might as well check out the very old, very original type of stuff. Could you not roll through doors? I don't think you could. Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, that might have been something they added way later. Huh, I thought I remembered that being kind of a thing, but geez. Oh, there's where we get OG's skill points. Tactics, used to be called skills, used to be yellow. That was a thing way back in the day, but it's just like, needless to say, has changed quite a bit over time. Oh yeah, also the only foodstuffs that used to exist were carrots, and I think, what was it? It was the meat thing. So that was like a turkey leg? Oh god, I entirely forgot about this. This is also back when like shields could break. Oh yeah, and you were the NPC in the shops. Yeah, they didn't get an original NPC to man the shops for quite a while, and even stuff like amulets existed. Amulet shops existed. Gyan ran one for a while down in the graveyard mostly, but oh yeah, this whole thing too. Man, it's been a while. This has changed up a lot in the many days. Joins the dark side. Oh, God. So much has changed. Yeah, I know, right? Oh, even the jump attack is, like, different. A lot chunkier, and it feels like you're not as useful. Whips didn't go through shields. You couldn't open up stuff in the corners. Everything was just kind of weirder, wasn't it? Everything just scaled with strength. Oh, this is good stuff. How did people beat this? Easily. Like, these things were... I'll show you. Watch this incredible pro-level gameplay, because this is the version that I did start out with. I definitely did beat it more than a few times. I look at the OG. Don't actually watch the OG episodes. They're terrible. I always say that I keep them up as more of a curiosity than anything. And that still remains true right now. Oh yeah, I don't have a teleport rune to actually get in there. I had to start up a new save file. Oh boy, this is the easiest the game has ever been? I don't know. There were some points when the game was pretty easy. But like here, it's... put everything into, strength, really. It's the best way to do it. Everything scales with strength. It's not like things had a whole bunch of separate stats at this point in time. Yeah, and I forgot. Despite the fact that you can get into the ossuary from here and everything like that, you can't actually do that until you have the teleport rune, which I'm kind of a way off from getting right now. So let's just get into the promenade. Remember the cooldown glitch? That was live for like 3 days. I wouldn't really say that it was it was great for the one video that I got it going for, but that was about it. Old version of the of the upgrade system. Back when you could upgrade things 3 times, they would give you 15, or is it, what is it, 25% extra damage? Yeah, they didn't have stuff where things gave you extra stats. That came in a much later update. Yeah, it was a maximum of 15 for 250. I actually do have a video up where I got every single one of the items to maximum unlock. I think it's called like Dead Cells 100% completion or something. It literally does nothing, by the way. It's like didn't even do a thing. Oh boy. 4.5 seconds ice grenade. Oh, I didn't even notice that. Yeah, that's different. Jeez. Oh yeah, look, the old runners, which I remember them as looking like the OG zombies, but no, I guess they were just goofier entirely. Assassin's Dagger, still same place as always. Most of the areas don't really have as interesting of enemies in it entirely. They're all very milquetoast. And hey, speaking of, hey, and I can also have 2 at a single time. Take that, current Dead Cells, I guess. Yeah, what exactly do they look like? Oh, this was when defenders, first off, looked kind of bad, but also enemies could still teleport when they were being defended, which was a weird change up for a while. Yeah, white zombies. I'm pretty sure that I also said something about white zombies all the way back in the day, too. One of the easiest things you can do is just level up skills, too, because skills decrease cooldown, and that was ridiculous. Oh, the regular grenade. It's not really the Widowmaker that the current heavy grenade is. Also, this one is just unlocked from the very start, so that's a different feeling, too. Oh, and one thing that I should do is try to parry, because, right, can't do that yet, because parrying was different back in the day, where shields actually had, like, durability and could be destroyed and stuff. Health increased, and that health was weird back in the day. I do remember that pretty well. Oh, the old-time doors! How did I forget about the old-time doors? It's been so long that I forgot. Yeah, they used to look like that and be in the middle of levels. Good stuff. Old Dead Cells. Yeah, it's the Legacy update. The Legacy update. So we get old Dead Cells versions. So I went with the oldest one possible because why not? It's feels like the right way to go about doing this. So if I take this guy out back in the day, just freeze him. Of course, the easiest way is to just, you know. Oh yeah, this was when... I forgot this was back when the, you didn't have any sort of benefit to parrying projectiles, aside from destroying them. God, that was a good change they made later on. Undead Archer shot so fast. Well, I mean, this one is an elite one, which I think also shot faster back in the day. Can't really see the area where you go. Also, I feel like a lot of the animations were just slower. Maybe that's just me, though. Maybe it's because it's kind of funky. No, that's still blocking stuff. I want to see if I can... I'm betting when I get into the ramparts, can probably get a good example of a shield break. Just because that was such an obnoxious thing. People were already not using shields. That to have that in there was ridiculous. Mad at Bloodstain for having killed me. My lava burn while I was standing on rocks. Wait, what? Was that a thing? There's the old version of that, too. Let's get up to the ramparts. Hey, C squared. Can't destroy doors? I mean, you can if you hit them. You just can't roll through them back then. I forgot that that was an update that came out a little bit later now, wasn't it? Oh, yeah, and Shield was also coming. No, this was... I remember at one point in time it was called, like, the good old reliable shield or something like that. But now this one's just called the sturdy shield. Back when it was known as Bear Trap instead of the Wolf Trap. Everything else, I think, is mostly the same. Flashbang was just automatically unlocked. Same with the gold shield. Aside from that, it's like, yeah, Oh, you're right. And you can't even go through the door because adding in the ability to break down that door was a later update. Oh, man. What a stuff. What makes someone a loser? I think the best way to explain that would be to listen to Beck's song about it. So if you are un perdedor, you're a loser, baby. Etc. These guys still being as terrible as ever. But I mean, for the most part, it's like, it's just not too much has changed, at least with like the basic layout of levels and enemies in it. Still got your same biters, your same zombies. Just some things got a little bit of an overhaul with adding in a bunch more room chunklets and the like, but the basic design has stayed the same throughout the entirety of Dead Cells. It's like, obviously the fact that I can still go through with no problem at all kind of shows that it's not... Nothing has changed with Dead Cells to make it a completely different game, regardless of how it feels like that. Bam and bam. There we go. And no boss cells. Yeah, it's gonna be real easy. Just say that. Let's go. So then they'll hand the King or Giant? No, the only bosses in the game are the Incomplete One and the Watcher. And that's it. And game's over after that, basically. And maybe I'll be able to show the old ending of the game, too. Back when you... Oh, I keep forgetting that the Time Doors do still exist. They just exist in a weirder way than they used to. Ugh. This is the oldest version of the game. This is the OG one that I started playing with when the game was first in early access. Oh, yeah, I forgot that this also didn't have an original rune here. Oh, and overall, if you've never seen the original secret rooms, feast your eyes on this. It's god-awful. Do it without getting hit. And what do you get for it? Not much, let me tell you. Oh no, whatever. God, challenges were so much worse back in the day. And just overall, it's like, yeah, that was a great change when they decided to change those up to actually give you, you know, stats and to make it something that isn't god-awful, like kill 1 million enemies in a minute. Ugh, I hated the challenge rifts back in the day. They were really bad. Obviously, it would have been a little bit easier if I was taking something aside from the electric whip, which even back in the day, this was bad. So it's like the only thing that made it good was the damage buffer ability, the one that gave you the ability to... It gave a flat damage increase as opposed to a DPS increase, so something so fast like the electric whip, which also used to have a lot more range back in the day too, would become a real powerhouse. But that's the only way that you could get really any use out of this weapon, and I don't know why I'm wasting my time with it. For fun, I guess. Wait, what version? Well, it's the Legacy update, so we get access to every single version of the game that has ever existed. All of them. Why'd they nerf that range? They needs it now. Well, that was actually a pretty early on... That was a pretty early on version of it that, where they nerfed the range. I remember that it might have even been like the Elemental update or something. Boy, it is weird seeing the old version of the Incomplete One's barrier and everything like that. Also, look at how little that thing actually holds him. Ridiculous. Also, only a single wolf trap, too, which does make a big difference. But, well, I suppose look at how frequently I can use it. Oh, no, step in the thing. Ah, damn it. Really not too much different from what he works like now. But I mean, the Incomplete One has always been a very simple type of character. Ah, can I go for the perfect? I'm gonna go for a perfect. Do this like rhythm heaven. Oh, as always, the slowdown screws me up. Not that it really matters. Yeah, whatever. I don't even care. We're done. Oh, I forgot that it actually did give a you defeated type of thing. Weird. And no dying animation. Oh, it took a while for dying animations to get in the game. I do remember that. And I do remember this, too. Give myself the root grenade. As disappointed as I was last time. It's like, hey, why not? The rally mechanic exists back this far. I mean, I was really happy to see it when I saw it was in the game. Because, I mean, of course, I really like how Bloodborne implemented it. And I still really like it to this very day. I forget. Do you get another version of this? You don't. It's only for the unlock. Because that was still a thing, but yeah, I want to switch out this for something else. Finding the root grenade, it's the ivy grenade. Like a lot of things, it's gone through changes over time. Victory achieved. Thumbnail had a gift box. Was that what was in it? 2 elites, and you got cursed for 5 curse. And then it gave you fool's keys for opening that up. Oh boy, the runner zombies. Boy, it was... that got changed up pretty quickly. Those things don't even exist in the game anymore. This was where you originally got the... Oh, right. You don't actually get any benefit for doing that, do you now? This was originally where you got the what was the name of it? Oil grenade. Yeah, oil grenades originally dropped from the runner zombies, but that was changed up when these guys were replaced to something that wasn't garbage. Oh, man, I didn't even remember that they changed the icon for that. I always thought the Frantic Sword had the... Weird. Now, obviously, Oh, yes, please. Obviously, the one of the big things that still exists in the game is the Curse Sword. Curse Sword still exists. Curse Sword is still gotten from the Watcher once you beat her. But, yeah, I swear it still has the same icon, though, which is why that was confusing for a second. Those super dark versions of the Kamikaze bets. Keep expecting enemies to teleport to you. I keep forgetting that that's not really a thing now, and is it? You're still a thing, though. Oh, except Curse Chest only gave you cells back in the day. Ah, crap. Or no, this was even before that. God, what a weird... This is so weird. Because, yeah, it also took time for things to start... For Curse Chest to start giving you a... Curse Chest to start giving you stats as well. I remember that was one of the big change-ups with Curse Chests because the OG ones gave you nothing, and that was very kind of obnoxious. Like, there was almost no reason to take chests back in the day when all they give you is, like, a worthless necklace. These days, they're indispensable. To the point that in the last update, they had to change it up to be less... forcibly taking. Something that you would forcibly take with every single run. Oh, man. Yeah, the heavy grenade is much, much better these days than it was back in the day. Jeez. Also that, oh, I can't see the rest of the ice amulet. Adroitly hidden under your clothes so the artists don't have to do as much work. I like that. I miss that. But anyway, yeah, this is the Legacy update, so we get access to all the old versions of it. I might throw it on, like, the Brutal update after this, just because that would be another fun one to kind of check out. Of course, I still have to kill, I had to kill one of my save files, but who cares? I only need the one. Third save file. Been using that since the OG days. I don't need anything else. This is also when the Fog Fjord was much, much different. Just a lot of vertical things, and what you had to do is you had to go into one of the doors to figure out how to get to the roof of this area. Come on, man. Now, how embarrassing would it be if I died in OG Dead Cells? But, you know, I haven't really been prioritizing getting any health, and usually you would do that back in the day. I can't remember what I always said it was. That you wanted to get, like, at least X points in health by end game, but it's obviously not relevant these days, so I've entirely forgotten. Runner zombies also still being the little hellions they always are. Well, they always were back in the day. And there we go. Ugh, bull, all power. You totally can do that. That was the way to do it, if anything. Yeah, runner zombies, and there's a little zombie elite guys. Hey, quit hitting me. Oh yeah, and this was when ammo was super weird. Okay, come on, fine then. I'll leave. This was when ammo was super weird and didn't, like, get back to you ever. Oh, this one has +1 health. I didn't even realize that. Yeah, that was a rare thing back in the day, I remember. This one has +1 skills, for example, so sure. Amulets in the shop? There were amulet shops back in the day. I mean, that was just a thing. Where you would specifically get amulets that, damn it. Where you would have shops that existed only to give you amulets. Man, let's get something that isn't, let's get like a weapon that isn't entirely garbage. I mean, as much as I do like old version of the throwing knives, they're not great. They weren't great back in the day. They're not great now. Oh, the inability to roll through doors is so annoying. Oh, well, anyway, the point is that it's just like, if you actually do take weapons that aren't entirely terrible, you're going to have a much better time. This is actually back when people wanted to have the rusty sword, the starting one, as a weapon, because there wasn't really too much for very fast, melee weapons, at least in the same way. Audio's cracking? There, is that better? Come on. No, it's fine here? Oh, okay. I don't know. Check speakers then, I suppose. All right. Let's see what I can do for a decent run with this. So what is this run? Just a run in a very old version of the game. Back when it was much rougher and tougher than the rest of them. Yo, how do you get ancient cells? That's just a thing in the game now. I'll try it again, but it's like, man. I hate this so much, since you actually have to kill all the enemies too. And it's not very fun. And you too. Let's go. Ugh. Right, can't roll through those now, can you? That was another update that took too long to actually come out. Oh, man. Stream is not in beta right now. It's actually live. Currently live and in charge. So it's like, you can play... I do think that it's just like, yeah, you can just play this even without having any sort of updates going on. Oh, I forgot how terrible the old grenade was. I mean, this is also before they even introduced the infantry grenade, like, as a concept, or... Oh, time door, yeah. I think time door was 1 minute and 15 seconds, though, back in the day. If I'm not mistaken about that. So, yeah. 10 curves for a golden door? I mean, that's still true even to this day. It's just... If you destroy something in the specialist shop, it's 50. Of course, this was so very long before the specialist shop was even a thing. It's like that was not coming out for a while. Usually the time door was in the first section. Well, usually it's the first section. I guess this time it's not. I think I missed it anyway, but still. And there we go. All right. Fire a volley of arrows, sure. Fire a volley of arrows was not a bad thing back in the day either. There were runs you could probably do just by using that alone. No, I guess the time door... Oh, no, there we go. Ooh, good. Knife Storm. And from what I remember, I think Knife Storm was still pretty good back here. Unfortunately, this was before even they put stats in the time doors, so don't get that benefit. Yeah, going into like the ossuary and getting 2 of those stats was pretty nice, but yeah. That came a little bit later. This was back when some areas didn't have their own tile sets and lighting. Yeah, I'm trying to think like which one, the ancient sewers. Ancient sewers just didn't really look all that much different from the sewers at all. Temporal distortion, this was also way before temporal distortion. Like that was much further down the road than this. Okay, come on. Give me something good here. To be honest, I think I might just end up sticking, at least for a time, with the rusty sword, just because, well, not really getting too much of anything else. Haven't seen those red boys in a while. I remember them being more pinkish, but I guess they weren't. Oh well. And the little tiny shops. Which, yeah, get rid of this. Grenades were so bad back in the day. I entirely forgot about that. Oh, the Ice Shard runs. Ice Shard wasn't going to exist for a very long time at this point. Oh man, that is definitely something that came out quite a bit later. Like the assassin wasn't even in this build. That was, ooh, yes please. Yep, I remember. It's like this was what was it that I said back in the day? That it's like you wanted to have some items as stat jockeys. Even if you didn't plan to use them at all, just the fact that they gave you an extra stat meant that they were worth taking. And this was definitely that era. The era of the stat jockeys. Bro, can you switch old dead cells with the latest one after this run? I was thinking maybe like go into a slightly newer one and then the newest one after this, but I don't know, maybe. I'll see what the consensus is from chat. If they want to see a little bit of extra blast from the passage or the newest update, of which I do have everything now. Oh, I forgot how long it took to actually use Frost Blast back in the day. Yeah, I do have everything unlocked now and ready to go, so yeah, can do that. The old sewers. Do I even care about... You know what? Let's go see the old sewers. Yeah, I forgot exactly how things were set up, but I know that you got into the ossuary from the first area, as well as the sewers. Sepulchre didn't exist. Clock Tower didn't exist. What else? What else? Graveyard. Graveyard was always the end game. That's... weird. All right. Brutal update. That was the thing I was thinking about going on and now. Like 17 different games accessible at the same time. I was just saying earlier how it's like it's not too much different, all things considered. Yeah, here's where you just get... It just looks like the regular sewers. The super corruption didn't happen for a while. These guys, though, are still down here. Spikers were always an enemy that were pretty much limited to this one area and nothing else. Thankfully. Like hammers down in the prison depths. But I think the prison depths required you to have the teleport rune to get into, which I maybe should have done. Or maybe it's down here. I didn't remember getting this rune in this area, but apparently that was a thing. Wow. Oh, God. Well, you act different. And faster, and apparently, like, more questionable as to how exactly your weird hitbox works. Anyway, jeez. Wow, the slashers were, like, janky as all hell back in the day. I didn't even remember that at all. Jeez. Because that was Like, it was faster and the hitbox was weird. Anyway. Regardless, I did beat it, so whatever. But it's just, why even bother? Why even bother? Curse chests were bad back in the day. When one could skip straight to the ossuary. I remember when the ossuary, the in-between area for the ossuary, used to have a shop in it. That was a fun one. Yeah. And, yep, those things still working same as they ever did. What's up, dog? First time seeing you live. Oh, you know, I had a nice Christmas day, and now I decided... I've been playing Noita way too much lately, so I want to do some actual Dead Cells. We had a new update here and everything, and I should be doing something with this game, and not just dying. Get up to the carrot. Take the curse. No! There's no point in taking a curse. It's terrible. It's terrible. Curses are terrible. Looks like an old version. Yeah, that's the new update. It's a legacy update, allowing you to play old versions of the game. So I went with the oldest version of the game. And I'm thinking that like next time I might end up switching to the... after this run, I think I'm going to end up switching to the brutal update, just because that's a fun one. That was kind of the one where things started to look more like the modern game comparatively. And I think they, and I think that's kind of like one of the interesting ones in history. Also the point in time when the channel started taking off too, so that's fun. But it's like, yeah, you started to get separate stats for each thing instead of working off of strength, health, skill. It wasn't, the mutations hadn't been introduced yet. That was the Foundry update, so still out of time there. That's where they rearranged the map into the layout that it is now. They added in the, I kind of like this for the 15% damage reduction, but yes, yeah, buddy. I told you, stat jockey, man. That was a thing back in the day, and it is a thing right now. So if you see something that has a stat on it, throw that into your thing, regardless of if you're using it or not. Yep. Okay. Oh yeah, Corpse Biter is just kind of hanging around. I kind of forgot about that being a thing. Poisons the victim. Of course, this was back when poisons the victim was not... Fire was still king. So getting stuff like poison the victim is not nearly the incredible powerhouse that it is today. I mean, overall, just synergies entirely were not as useful. Rolling burns your enemies could be good. Might be cool. Gold was weirdly scarce, apparently. Don't be a slasher. I do not want to deal with that again. Door advantage, though, was still a thing. Hey, dude. Come on. Hey, there we go. 75% damage reduction. That's always going to be useful, especially knowing that the final boss is the Watcher, after all. Because that was the thing. Bam, and let's go. And I do have enough money to actually afford some foodstuffs, which I was going to say that I might need right now. Yeah, there we go. Knew it was going to happen. Also knew that was going to happen. Okay, anyway, enough with the embarrassment here. It's the old version of Dead Cells. Hey, Sata Stiletto, cool. Or actually, no, this was Sata Sword. Back when it was back when it was a sword instead of a... Yeah, when this was a sword instead of a dagger. Dagger was a few updates later, from what I remember. Yeah, corpse spiders are so tiny. I don't think they've grown in size anymore. These days, it's just those ones are only used by the hammers now, and also the one guys. What was their name? I do not remember it all. I didn't mean to take health. I meant to go damage, because why not? I wanted to see if I can get up to, like, ludicrous damage. This is also when you could still one-shot bosses and everything, too. The brown ones are the purulent fly zombies in the graveyard. Yeah, but I thought that the corpse biters were also spawned by hammers. They're just a different version of them. Or something, I don't know. There are a few different corpse biters in the game, certainly. Yeah, I do not have much for skills, so... Like, there's no real point in using my, my bombs and all that. Nah, I'll just go. Purple? Are they? I don't know. I don't remember. Cool enemy designs have changed and some haven't at all visually. I mean, I think that it's like the ones that were just the same enemy, but different. the same view, but a different enemy. Yep, only bleeding. And then there was a short time when we also critted on enemies on fire. Boy, that was a fun time. Oh, let's see if I can't get that working, though. Well, what's even the point? What am I even saying? It does not matter because I need to get more skill right now if I even want to use that. Stun lock enemies long enough with the rusty sword just to spam it. And there was a reason why people were super into this. Why people were super into the rusty sword back in the day. Didn't skills only reduce cooldown? I thought it did reduce cooldown and increase damage. I know it definitely reduced cooldown. That was a big part of the whole, like, thing. Yeah, it was a while until they added a, It was a while until they added the faster animation for... Whatever. Not even gonna worry about it. Faster animation for the Frost Blast, so it became a lot more usable. Oh, fine. And there we go. Couldn't even do damage back in the day. It only did the freeze, and that was it. Ah! Damn it. Yeah, so now I'm not even getting any stun off of this. I think even at this point in time, should probably start getting a resisted type of thing for freeze. What a choke. Ah, whatever. You really got to start that up early. And, there we go. And this should probably do it. Doesn't even last 1 second to get him into the wolf trap anymore. There, man. I think this is also a point in time where using the assault shield glitch, you could go past the boss, which was pretty good. Food reduction was just integrated into the game by default. Yep, it sure was. It was a weird and stupid time. All right. What do I even want? What do I even care about? Manually picking up gold. I know, it's pretty bad, isn't it? You know, just here, fine. Give me an assassin's dagger. Which, I mean, the rusty sword could still do more damage, and I keep forgetting that I can't do anything until I use all the cells. Ugh. If I can get criticals on stuff, that's going to be useful, but honestly, I might want to switch that out for a little bit better weapon soon enough, just because, well, the Watcher doesn't have a back. All right, Fog Fjord. Everyone's favorite. Man, that damage is not as good as I want it to be. Okay, well, just figure out where the actual exit is to this place and go into the graveyard? Is it the graveyard after this? God, I do not remember. But I'll figure it out pretty soon. Ugh. You know what? I don't even care about fighting enemies right now. I'm just gonna go. There we go. Here we go. And figure out the proper way to go upwards, because that was a thing in the Fjord back in the day. You're looking for one of the doors that leads you up to the next area. Great, cool. Now, +1 skills. Do I even care? No. Get out of here. Get out of here, you. Give me something that isn't Garbo. Something that I can hang my hat on. Yeah, little blue guys are runner zombies because they didn't really have a whole lot of ideas for zombies back in the day. They had to put in guys that are just tiny blue dudes. It's kind of ridiculous if you think about it. Okay, okay. Runners everywhere too, because trackers didn't exist until the Darkness update. So that was just a way for them to try to get a little extra usage out of, you know, enemies that you can't just run away from. Even though that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. Like, come on, what are you talking about? It's still a thing. Never stopped being a thing. And there we go. So I do think that this is the right area that I want to go to. Yes, finally. Got to do that parkour. Hardcore parkour. The question then becomes, where am I going after this? Because it was a while until they started to introduce landmarks for you to actually use. You couldn't just look at the door and figure out where it led. It was just guess, basically. All right, all right. And it's nothing anyway. It's not only just an older version of the game, it's the oldest version of the game. And it is, well, I mean, I don't know if it's like literally the oldest version of the game, because I know there was a like test version, demo version of the game that existed even before this that ended after the incomplete one. But I don't think that one is included. I think it at least is the mostly content complete version, and that's about it. Hey, yo. Hey, yo. Let's go. What do you recommend for a first-time 5-cell run? Oh, man, that is a hard one to say, because it's like there's a lot of different builds that I think work right now. Damage over time has never really done me wrong, though. Although one of the things that I've been suggesting a lot lately is the... Come on now. One of the things I've been suggesting a lot lately is the build that I did with the... there we go. The Spite Sword, where you just have a shield that you hold up and then you use adrenaline to really regain a ton of health over time. Yep, it is Graveyard. Ranting about this area and Doc not knowing where to go. Yeah, no, I think that it was back in the day that I always said that the Fjord, I would get extremely confused, forget which door I had gone in, everything like that. And that was always, every single time, a huge hang-up, a huge bottleneck for every one of the runs. And then when they introduced stuff like the Assault Shield that would just literally send you halfway across the map if you use the one glitch, it became much easier to just kind of jump up to the second floor pretty often. Oh boy. It was a weird time in the game's history. I mean, nostalgic if you're into that, I suppose. I'm not. Absolutely not. I prefer the game as it exists right now, to be honest. Of course, I want to say that that's probably not a hot opinion. Graveyard mostly takes... Graveyard mostly takes the same route, the same sort of order of events that you would always do. Man, and you know, people complain that I didn't fight enemies back in the day, and also right now, to this very day. I don't know why they would say that, really. Well, it's more, I guess. Get out of here, you. Can you talk about the Christmas update banner on the starting screen? Ah, it's no longer the Christmas update banner. Well, actually, This is an old version of the game. What am I even saying? No, it's been changed to the Legacy update. Oh, yeah. I forgot how bad those looked back in the day. All right. What am I even doing? Hey, Oiled Sword, though. Oh, the Flammable Sword. Yeah, that's right. Back when it wasn't called the Oiled Sword, and it was, like, no one could figure out exactly how it worked. I mean, it, like, did extra damage to enemies on fire or something? But it's like, what does that mean? That's it. All right, Crypt Key. Gotta go get my cryptocurrency keys. Oh, yeah, and these zombies just exploded into those. I forgot. Yeah, because I remember that it's just like, there was a point in time when they just exploded into stuff and they didn't actually summon things, and then it took even longer for, like, specific versions of the enemies to come into existence. And that was, you know, kind of annoying. Yeah, it's pretty okay, I guess. But as it is, I'm just going to keep kind of walking through here and not worry about it. All right. Same with the Preland zombies exploding into those worms. Yeah, those ones. That's how they did work back in the day. It's true. All they did was they just exploded into worms rather than anything more interesting. Oh, yeah, no one-hit mechanic type of thing in place at this point in time. Oh, man, that was a nice change they made in the future. I forgot about that. Also, yeah, that's what you get for stacking everything into strength and nothing into health. Also, if I actually fought things and, you know, figured out builds... let's switch to a newer version. Also, I keep forgetting that you can't press up to go to the last thing on the menu, so that's annoying. All right, what else we got? What else we got going on here? Oh, yes, I was going to ask, do you want to go to the Brutal update, or do you want to go to the modern update? The current update. What version is that? Is that the first EA version? Oh, hell yeah, it is. It is... I'm seeing everybody saying the Brutal update. All right, that's a fun one. Version 0.4. That is, like I said, where the game started to become a lot more good. Oh, man. Moved to the period when tactics builds were the end-all be-all with pyrotechnics and death orb. Well, we're going right to the Brutal update. Unfortunately, I'm not going to have pyrotechnics up just yet. And I think this is the original Brutal update. So no 7 million hit point assassin, fortunately. I see nothing. Oh, I got to actually like download the version of the game. So give it like 5 seconds here. This update made the game presentable. I mean, it was less janky. I forgot how janky it was back in the day. Eventually, they changed it up so that, like, rolling felt better and dive attacks and, like, the slashers weren't acting really weird. Oh, man. It is... Still sucks that I couldn't quite get a win there, but yeah, it's such an entirely different game. You got to remember that you're not just building up for one stat. Yeah, you want to get like 5 or something in health and then, you know, actually build. It's weird to think of like strategy, old school strategies like that. Come on, keep well here, chat. I've played this game for 1,371 hours. Would I recommend this game to other players? Nah. Yeah, nah. I would say no, and I'm going to post a review and say... There we go. Look for that stupid review on there. All right. Now, should be like 5 seconds left here to get dead cells back up again. You have a remedy for wanting death. What? The Windows notification sound. Yeah, that was telling me that OBS disconnected. Which, come on. It's like there's like 40 kilobytes left. Why is it taking so long? Ugh. And hey, Dachad, is your PC? What is your PC desktop background? Mine is currently nothing. It is a black screen. All right, here we go. Finally. Oh boy. And is this going to launch as full screen? No, thankfully it did keep my window settings. Hey, remember this? All right. Save inaccessible. No, we're going to go back to slot 1. And yeah. Wow, such a great background. Yeah, well, whatever, man. Oh, hold B to pass. I didn't remember. I thought they added that even newer than the Brutal update. I don't know. It's weird. Thoughts on console? I don't have any thoughts on console, I think. Well, here, just skip this. But yes, oh yeah. This is already feeling a lot more like the more modern game that I know and love. Yeah, where you're not like, you don't wait a second for anything to happen. Still can't open the one thing with like a pressing, it still can't open these gold ores with pressing L1 though. And sometimes it takes more than one hit to destroy, which is a weird thing. This was also still prior to boss cells being introduced, so even if I did have a save file, which, I mean, I might have a save file from... Well, yeah, obviously. Which I might have a save file from back in this day if I go look at my backup folder, but I don't feel like digging it out. Infantry grenade was a thing. This is also the first time they changed up the UI to have the more modern UI rather than the weird old version that you know, had like the gold borders and everything. Also, this is a type of like level chunklet that I don't think I've seen for a long time. I guess they took that out of the game pretty quickly now, didn't they? I mean, it looks a lot closer to the current version, it's true, but not close, not too close. You can see like the map and everything in the bottom right corner is much more primitive. And also the way that health works and everything like that is much more primitive, yeah. All right. But hey, we don't have stuff. This was also after they took out like shield breaking, which I never got to show. I wanted to show like shield decimation, but I think I need to get into the ossuary to do that. That was just a baffling idea where it's like, why would anybody ever use shields at that point if you don't know when an enemy is just going to beat its way right through it and you're not going to have any say in the matter? And these days, you know, you get the little invincibility barrier after you get hit. You get a lot of stuff. Brutality beginner's bow? Wait, was it? I should go check that out, because I do not remember. I remember that it was mostly, I think every single tactics, or every single skill was a tactics weapon, and I think maybe like every single main hand was, oh yeah, so it is. Then every single main hand was a brutality scaling or something like that. I don't know, I don't really remember exactly how it worked back in the day. Any advice for early game, like what to focus on spending your cell spending on? I would recommend forget about the Forge for a while. The Forge is something that you want to get like when you're in 2 boss cell mode or so. And only worry about getting like some of the better items that you can possibly get out of, say, get some synergies. Get some good synergies, get some weapons you like unlocked. And that's about it. Any advice for later game? Definitely work on getting some great synergies. Big fan of survival these days because I do think that they have a lot of great items working for it. Aside from that, you know, the usual is go and pick up a good damage over time run. Damage over time has brought me through a lot of very good things. Giant killer, if you want to work with survival, is great. Yeah, stop getting hit. A giant killer is pretty great. What else? What else? Spiteful Sword, I was saying earlier, and I still stick to that as being pretty good because adrenaline really gives you a huge amount of... Why? Because adrenaline really gives you a huge amount of healing in late game. Also, oh yeah, we still got these things here. And there we go. Update released today. Update released 2 days ago? 1 day ago? It was not... Yes, the thing was, like I was saying, I have been playing a lot of Noita lately. So I haven't really been doing my due diligence showing off the new update. The various new updates for the game. Because it is... There are some good things, like new weapons and everything like that I just have not been using. I got them unlocked and everything like that, and never did anything with it. The cells in the time door. Pick them. Wait, did I not do that? Oh, well. There we go. Wait, there's new weapons? Oh, yeah, there's a ice armor and ice shield. Ice armor and ice shield. Yeah, there we go. I forgot about that because they obviously didn't exist in the game in the first place, but yeah. This is an old school version of the game. This is a brutal update back when it was... Oh, yeah. Go into the settings. Oh, yeah, this is also when they had to introduce diet. So fruitarian, obviously. And also before they introduced the baguette update. So, yeah. I just started playing Dead Cells. Do you have any advice for me? Man, that is hard to say because, like, just general advice, I don't know what exactly I would say about that in particular. I suppose it's just like, do not forget, like, anything that gives you extra damage on, like, poisoned, bleeding, etc. enemies, because that is more useful than you might think. Also, new skins. I didn't get the skin. I know there's like a Santa skin or something. I don't know where to get it, though. Oh, yeah, the speed buff exists in this version. I remember that was added in the daily update. So that's nice, at least. They're in the cavern? Wait, are they next to the festive outfit? Or is it, you have to do even more with the festive outfit or something to get that working? And you're done. This update also had the spider rune. I think it did. I want to say it did. Because this was a brutal update. Yeah, I think the brutal update was when they introduced the clock tower and the slumbering sanctuary. So that would be with the new rune too. I think that's right. And there we go. Hey, remember how I said the Spartan sandals are kind of a joke weapon? It's because it's that easy to get it. And then it's also that easy to use. I forgot the grenade was tactics brutality. Back in the day, everything that was a skill was tactics. That didn't change for a while. Like, I remember it was like the update where they got to... Oh, come on. Can't believe I got hit there. The update where they introduced efficiency and then fireworks technician, I think, was the first time that they really started to separate those out into two different things. Okay. The update you're talking about not released on the Switch. I'm still on 15, the corrupted update. No, this one is new on PC, like, as of 2 days ago or so. I don't actually even own a Switch. Oh, yeah, back when the Forge Master was, this guy. That's weird. Weird change. Still haven't figured out the clock tower bell puzzle. Lowest pitch to highest pitch. It's annoying, and I'm glad I only have to do it once. I don't think the Dead Cells is a game that's supposed to be played. Oh, okay. What? Double notched bow is just 2 arrows at once. It was a while until the multiple notch bow came into existence. So, yeah, I can't really expect that to be showing up just yet. Also, needless to say, I remember the multiple notch bow was also not great for a long time, so yeah. Yeah, this was definitely at the point in time where wall running was introduced because you got that entrance to the next area like that. And that was not that way for a long time. I keep forgetting about that. Those shops keep laying off workers. Well, I mean, I don't think they're getting laid off. I think that they are just moving up to bigger and better things. I mean, that guy went from just hawking a couple supplies to managing his own forge. I think that's pretty good. And just get everything in there. I don't know. What do I even care about right now? I guess more health. Sure. It's a game that's supposed to be work. The definition of playing requires for fun. Ah, you're right. You got me. I'm just a tryhard. I don't even enjoy playing this game anymore. The stats guy went down the ladder. Stats guy? Gian? You talking about? I'm not quite sure. Doc, do I find your review as useful or funny? Oh, you dislike it immediately. Back when the challenge rooms were challenging. Well, they were also terrible, and they didn't even give you anything worth going through that sort of nonsense that you would want to do. There, and come on, man. No, he was in charge of the shops at one point. Oh, yeah, no, he went from, you know, being in charge of a shop to recording all of your many adventures. Ah, yes, here's where the Viter Tower was. And Viter Tower back in the day was something to behold. These days, all you get is a couple fighters around here. It used to be that they would just litter this entire area like crazy. Keep getting that extra health and keep going. Why are there so many bats? That was just for some reason, for a really long time, how this area worked. Hey, survival +1, hell yeah. That's what I'm looking for. And for a really long time, that was just how this area worked, where there was one tower with a ton of bats in it. And that's about it. But I mean, aside from that, it's like the fact that this does play so much more similar to... I completely forgot about that. The fact that this does play so much more similar to modern-day Dead Cells, it makes it a lot easier to do. A lot easier to play. And... one more. There. Man. Brutality +1, damage from projectiles. I like all of that stuff right now. And was this back when they had stats appearing in the time doors? Yes, it was. Damn it. I am mad because I lost out on a lot there. Okay. And okay. What do you think about the Hunter's Grenade being a legendary item now? I think that's good. I mean, really, it should be. Because, you know, Hunter's Grenade is otherwise kind of a dead slot there. Now it's like you'd actually want to pick it up. I mean, I could even see areas where you could possibly get more benefit just having that in there as opposed to having a usable item just because you want those extra stats, like on later difficulties. But I mean, it's just something that makes it so that you want to take it now, rather than having to be a burden on your run. Good. Merry Christmas. Love seeing my favorite content creator on the holidays. Hey, thanks, Micah. Love to hear that. Like I was saying, I've just been focusing on some other less important things. Noita should be done in about 2 episodes, and then I will stop obsessing about that damn thing. Oh, it's still the same thing as it was before. I couldn't remember if they had updated it to modern days just yet, but that might have happened back in like the Forge update. But yeah, I should be back to, if nothing else, at least doing a couple streams over the next couple days here. Hopefully actually doing showcases of the new weapons, though. Because I do think that they are interesting, and they provide a... Certainly the ice armor, if nothing else, is quite the item to be using. And I'm going to try to, when after this run, getting it to the Ghost of Christmas Future, kind of check out that and see if I can't get a good run going with it. Yeah, but now you're doing damage in this challenge rift. Yeah, I mean, well, to be fair, it's like I was playing the game in a way that you generally shouldn't play old school Dead Cells, which is why it was, like, just bad in a lot of ways. I was taking too much damage, not dealing enough damage, etc., and so on. Also, you know, the early version of it before I had anything really good unlocked. But still, excuses. All right, he's gonna do it. We'll see. You seeing this thing right now? Seeing this combo? I did it. I can't jump high enough. I mean, I guess I'd like to do it, but at the same time, I also don't care because, oh my god, it takes so long, and it's, like I said, for so little benefit, it's not worth doing old challenge rifts like this. And there we go. How much time do I have left? 40 seconds. I think I can probably manage that, provided that I can finally kill that guy. Oh, come on! I jumped over that. Ugh. Bruh. Yeah, I know. Well. God, the old... I just want to rant one more time about the old challenge rifts. They were terrible. Terrible. Thank you for changing them up, Motion Twin. But I'm still mad that you even had them like that in the first place. You let us down. This isn't the only time that I'll ever let you down. Man, you might as well consider me like picking you up at all points in time just so I can let you down or whatever. Whatever I'm even trying to think of right now. Imagine the old challenge rifts with teleporting enemies would be easier, if anything, because then I wouldn't have to worry about going to meet enemies all the time. They just come to me. Brutality, Frost Blast, not even as an off stat. I mean, yeah, like I said, I think that all main hand weapons were, aside from shields, were all brutality scaling, and all offhand weapons were... or not offhand, but all other weapons were tactic scaling. All skills were tactic scaling. Man, I just completely screwed up that sentence entirely there, didn't I? Okay, and good. Yeah, it was I remember, and the general meta that you wanted to do at this point in time was to use shields. Like, shields were the best because you got so much extra health by using them that it's like, why use anything else except for tactics for maximum damage, basically. Okay, well, I guess I'm out of here then. It was, I mean, this was kind of like the first time they separated out stats to... Frame rate looks kind of low. Let me check for a second. It is saying that it's 60 frames a second, but I might have changed that at some point in time. No, it looks like it should be good for the frame rate. I'm not quite sure. Because, yeah, I might have lowered it for Noita because of frame issues when I'm doing streaming of that. It's, I don't know. Maybe. All right, what do I even want? Sure, let's get the potion improvement. Why not? I feel like that is... Oh, this is also apparently when they added the Hunter's Grenade. For some reason, I thought that was later on, because I still have, like, the other versions, like the old version of the upgrade menu and everything like that. Huh. I don't know. Let's get going. This is when Spartan sandals were considered a shield. Yeah, I think so. I think that they appeared in the starter shield lineup, which was such a ridiculous thing. Someone made a new elite mode mod. It's only for 1.5, and every time they keep ruining that particular mod. There, we at least get the modern shield for the incomplete one. That said, man, this would really be the point in time to get pyrotechnics, but that's like too many runs off to go get. At least at this point in time, I don't think that you have to parry to get arrows back, so that's nice at least. Not that that's going to stop me from doing it. Yeah, this is also prior to when mutations existed, so... yeah. I don't know, Elite Mode, the hardest part about Elite Mode for me was always dealing with Elite Kamikaze Bats, because those things would do so much damage. And one of the reasons why it was more or less possible to do back in the day was due to the huge amount of... come on. Due to the huge amount of rally that you get off of something like Death Orb or Aura of Laceration. And that's honestly what really made it worthwhile to... one of the few things that made stuff like Aura of Laceration, at least the old version, worthwhile. And there we go. Challenge rune being unlocked. Still can't pick up gold just by walking over it, unfortunately, which is still great, but whatever, that's fine. I don't miss most of what I see, actually. I agree. I think that the more modern version of the game is much better. That said, it's still fun to kind of like look back at the old version of it, especially the OG version that I was just looking at. Because God, what a terrible, terrible time that was. So few survival scaling things. Of course, survival gives you so many, so much money, or so much health, that it's like something else. I don't know. I'm getting kind of distracted for some reason. Whatever that is up. Whatever is up with that. Anyway. Wow, that looks so bad. That was the original version of the whole upgrade, whatever. Like, you really didn't get too much aside from a huge grid that was kind of obnoxious to go around. Not even much of a description for anything, comparatively. I hope this one comes to consoles. I want to experience the struggle. I mean, honestly, a lot of the older updates are probably easier in a lot of ways. It's just you wouldn't know that from watching me right now. To be fair, I don't really have a whole lot of upgrades for a lot of my anything. I mean, this is like a new save file and everything, but it's like, also, come on, I should be playing a little bit better than this. Oh, there we go. At least I can get this then. At least got that challenge rune. Yeah, I know. It's so useful. And brutality, which I guess the health is going to be useful if nothing else. 381. I don't think consoles are able to do that sort of integration. Yeah, I don't really know how you would have like a bunch of like multiple versions of the game on a console update. For this current one, all you need to do is you need to go into the betas tab of Steam and just choose whatever update you want, and then while you're waiting for it to update, make sure that you shitpost a review of the game on Steam. That was an important part of what I did there, by the way. But anyway, this is the point where Weaver Worms would cover half the zone. Yeah, it was a time in the game. Cells, Doc, you forgot them. Ah, I'm not going back for them now. Nah, you forget about them. They're dead. And aside from that, at least the updated version of the area around here. And I do think these are also the updated curse chests. Yeah, is this back when you got colorless weapons? It sure is. Yeah, but what do I even... By the way, the take 20% extra damage never actually worked, so forget it. I want to keep the survival. All right, let's go. Keep that cooldown reduction. It's just too bad that I don't even think that I have a single turret that exists at this point in time to use the cooldown reduction on. Oh yeah, this is also when trash enemies got rid of curses. Ooh, yeah, I remember, because one of the best strategies you could have was going into the ossuary and just using slimes to get rid of curses. Those slimelings that came out of the containers of Sunny D. That was dumb. I'm kind of glad they changed that. It was cheesy, because all you had to do was just like slam down and kill a bunch of slimelings and get rid of curses trivially. Only play the OG game. I have played so much of the OG game. If all you want to do is just watch me play the OG game, I mean, you probably could. At least for like a week's worth of time. How to get having to get colorless to make Frost Blast scale with tactics. Yeah. Well, I mean, these days it's scaling with... Is it scaling with tactics, or is it just... whatever, I don't know. Yeah. Nah. 'Cause I thought that might have only been survival scaling, but no, I don't think that's right. It doesn't sound right. One of those, it's a weapon that I don't really use a whole lot as it is, so I probably should at least give it a little bit of a try in one of these. Well, I mean, I will over time when it comes to doing the challenge runs, but still. Especially now with how survival works. So survival has a lot more synergies with freezing. Maybe I can get some more usage out of it. Okay, and done. Is this the start of a new series of runs? Absolutely not. This is just me screwing around with some of the old updates. I don't even know if I'm going to be doing too much with like screwing around with old updates past this. Maybe I'll maybe I'll do something with it later. I don't really know what though. Okay, I might have failed last time, but I won't fail this time. Oh, no. But also, you know what? Just get in there. Just get in there. Ooh, boy. Would also like to get some sort of new... Yeah, this is also... I was thinking that tactics was going to be the best way to do this, because I do remember tactics being pretty overpowered at the beginning of the Brutal update. But that is mostly because I got stuff like pyrotechnics now, isn't it? When you are working with the OG, like, nothing unlocked at all, it's not nearly as good. Yeah, you really do need to have a little bit more than that to really get a proper tactics run popping off. Something like a turret in any way would be great. Tax was OP until 5 boss cell, and even then it was still pretty good until they nerfed how that worked. And I don't think that there was ever a point in time when tactics was bad. Like I said, I think the best thing to do back in the OG Brutal update was to just use shields. Go full survival, use shields, and like even single weapon runs with just shields alone were pretty good. All right, come on. Make the exit without getting hit. And also don't forget to kill every single enemy here too. Like 500 of them. You know, if like the 60 kill doors or something existed back in the day here, it would be super simple to get them with just a single challenge rift. Because you're killing so many enemies here. I got 1 minute left. 14 enemies remaining against all odds. There's Meat Boy. Meat Boy for luck. Come on. I can do this. I can see the stupid and terrible prizes that you get for doing it. Let's just do... Well, I was kind of hoping for a little bit more than that, but it doesn't matter. Okay. Enemies remaining 0. 20 seconds left. It's looking good. I couldn't do it. I remember that particular thing being ridiculous to try to get through. Ugh. Like, how are you even supposed to do that, really? Because you can't roll through those things. Of course, that was old Challengers for you. They have more health in your weapon. Yeah, I mean, damn, yeah, health was also kind of like out of whack for a while. Where I remember the one update that gave us like thousands and thousands of health, and people were like, "Oh boy, I can't wait to get to this update. It seems like it's going to be so much easier now that you have 50,000 health by end game." And it's like, no, they also just scaled up damage equally. There we go. Tactics +1, baby. This is the sort of thing. This is the sort of run that I was hoping to get in the first place. And 2, 1. Yes, this is already working out much better. And with just a couple more points tactics, I think I should be totally fine. Also, why did that guy come out of a, like, egg sack? What was that? All right. Yeah, I'm actually starting to get enough tactics to really make a difference here. All right. Back when 1,000 health was considered a good amount. Yep. I mean, it was weird how that worked now, wasn't it? Have I gotten... Yeah. I did go in this area already. That was where I got the upgrade for my current weapon. Shockers. Yeah, Shockers kind of littered the game. I think they're also in the Sepulchre in this update as well, which is just peach keen. But I mean, as always, what are you going to do? Yoink. And speaking of which, maybe I should go to the Sepulchre, because I do remember that being... Well, this is also in the clock. Chat, tell me, do you want to see the Sepulchre or you want to see the clock tower? What are you feeling? How you feeling tonight? Shockers in the Sepulchre is true today, just in low boss cell. Oh yeah, when you get up to higher boss cell, the Sepulchre becomes easier. That's ridiculous. There we go, and one more. I'm seeing clock tower, Sepulchre. I don't know, could be either. Could go either way. Anybody want to throw in one more vote? I'm seeing Sepulchre, so I'm just going to go there. Sure. Sepulchre Tower. Anyway, Sepulchre is more fun. I mean, I always go... Oh, I forgot that I don't even have a choice anyway, do I? Yeah, new game. Otherwise, that would be would have made more of a difference. I'm so used to I'm not used to doing new games. I'm not really thinking of this like a new game. I'm thinking of this like I have everything unlocked and I'm going back and playing the old version of the game. Get those 5 free scrolls of power. Yeah, I think they were still there at this point in time. But it's like, as much as I would love to, can't. Also, the game does end after the assassin fight now, because that was kind of like the big thing for the brutal update, getting a new boss in the game. Not really too much else to unlock now, is there? I don't know, why not? And then, sure. F and chat for the Sepulchre. The Sepulchre is already dead. It's a catacombs, man. Not like you were gonna really see too much in there anyway. So much for that idea. I know, right? And we got the clock tower. They had teased the clock tower for a while by putting in a very, very short, very short time door. You gotta get like a preview of an area saying, yeah, clock tower is not open for business or whatever. I remember that really frustrating people a lot back in the day because they're like, what do you need to do to open up the clock tower? It's like, nothing. You can't. Guessing achievements are locked when playing older versions? Probably? I don't really know exactly how that works. Maybe not. How long was Dead Cells out before the Brutal update? I think Dead Cells came out in May, and it was in November that the Brutal update came out. That was when it changed up to that. Ooh. I'm gonna keep what I got. I like having that extra point of survival just because that does really help quite a bit. Why does Clock Tower not have a time door? That's a good question. I mean, yeah. This never happened, did it? Weird. The big new boys on the block were, of course, these fellows, the cannibals. They still remain kind of frustrating even to this day. Although I'd like to say that there's even more annoying enemies that exist at this point in time than those guys. Those silent cannibals. Oh yeah, I didn't even notice that. But it's true. They don't really make too much of a sound now, do they? Oh, I miss having things, you know. I miss having, like, more weapons. Come on, man. Yeah. This was also when a big thing was having a bunch of biters in the clock tower. I do remember that. There. Yeesh. So I got a lot more of those guys comparatively. Not a tremendous amount more, but you know. All right. Probably going to be down here. Where do I get the network mutation? Actually, where do you get the network mutation? I don't remember. Ring the bells? No, we're not doing that. That is just too involved of a process for me to even feel like doing it. All right, now that I've kind of remembered a little bit how you actually want to play this version of the update, I think I'm doing at least slightly better. Can't roll through those at this point in time. Forgot about that. Ugh. Also don't have wall climbing. There. Man. Took a while for them to introduce that concept now, didn't it? Oh well, I'm not going to worry too much about it. Release a cloud of poison. I mean, poison's nice and everything, but that's not... This was, like I was saying, back in the day when it was not very good to get poison working. One of the few times they decide to roll off of that. Anyway. Berlin zombies from the graveyard drop networking. That makes a lot of sense when you think about it. Yeah. And then we got this jump. Oh, the best. The greatest. So the update also let you run, new update also let you run earlier builds. Yep, it's called the Legacy Update for that exact reason. Wait, dropping them off like that wasn't in 1.2? Made it seem like they were. I don't know. Oh, Merry Christmas too, Grant. Didn't even see your message at first. What else do I want here? I'm kind of working with like a tactics build, but there's not really anything that gives me anything good for it. I guess, yeah. Going this way. You can try this bug with the Hunter's Grenade. I mean, I don't think that update is in here. It seems like it's just the first update from Or maybe the last up? I don't really remember. Oh yeah, this is when like the clock tower was just this big black void. This is weird. Hello. Well, it's not quite 7 million health, but certainly does not feel tremendously different. Oh. Come on, cut that out. Like I said, shields were like the end-all, be-all of doing damage in this mode. And there we go. Also, before she had like the whole change up to how the physical attacks worked. Hey, come on, man. Yeah, I'll take that damage. Oh, boy. Old version of the assassin. Did take quite some time to fight. Of course, really, it's like, I remember the first time that I fought her, I mostly got through because I had a... inflicts as much damage on enemies as they deal to you, and that was really overpowered for... Come on now. That was really overpowered for this particular fight. Okay, there we go. Finally. That was before her buff, she's easy. I mean, it would be less... It would be easier, certainly, if I... wasn't working with like a new build or had some sort of synergies going on. Something. But right now it's like, yeah. Feel like I'm just chunking off her health barely. That said, I should at least manage to have this be a run, even though I completely failed in the previous ones. You hardly ever hear this part of the music, in fact. Da, 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 da. Yeah, the whole, like, moving when she's doing her regular sword swing attacks. Boy, that was a good idea, wasn't it? You also believe that this is when she actually died. Yep. When getting killed. It's always fun. And then the wharf. Oh, the wharf. You can parry the falling knives? I don't think so. But you can parry pretty much everything else, so why not? Hey, ice shock. Back when it was called Ice Shock. I forgot about that. All right, there we go. No shurikens when teleporting, no dash, and the falling swords are smaller. I think the falling swords are about the same, but that's pretty much... It was easier back in the day, certainly. Oh, this is just when you get the work in progress rather than the Squid Man. Implied that you were going to get some sort of boat to leave the area. This makes more sense, but still. Remember when you could parry those jetpack idiots? Yes, I love that, but it's just like, man. All right, well, yeah, that's the Brutal update. It's much easier when you actually get some synergies or items unlocked or anything. I think what I'm going to do now is take a quick break and then come back with the more modern update. And then we'll do that.